Title: Human Medic Saves the Dying Alien Queen Mother. Abandoned on a frozen wasteland, the blizzard tore across the shattered plains of Varela 9, a world that once gleamed with emerald skies and fields of radiant grass. Now it lay in silence and frost, a graveyard of wrecked vessels and forgotten wars. The snow carried murmurs of the fallen, and through it trudged a lone human, his thermal lamp casting a faint orange glow across the endless white. Lieutenant Elias Rain, former combat medic of the Terran Expeditionary Corps, had come to this forsaken planet seeking oblivion. His shuttle had crashed days prior, leaving him with a broken leg and dwindling oxygen canisters. Still, he pressed forward, his scanner flickering with faint heat signatures, weak, irregular, but undeniably alive. He followed it. The trail led him to the ruins of a ship half buried beneath glacial drifts, its hull blackened by plasma fire. The markings were unmistakable: Varellan Royal Fleet. He froze. The Varellans had once been the enemy, creatures of beauty and cruelty, their luminous eyes and shattering voices legendary. The war was over, at least on paper. Elias tightened his grip on the plasma cutter and forced the hatch open. A gust of frigid wind screamed through the corridor. Inside lay chaos, twisted beams, frozen soldiers, and a faint trail of alien blood glowing blue under his lamp. It led deeper into the wreck. "Hello," he called, voice muffled by his mask. "If you're alive, I mean no harm." A response came, a shallow, labored breath. Elias limped forward, boots crunching on ice. Then he saw her, slumped against the command chamber wall, draped in a tattered royal cloak that shimmered even in the shadows of death. Her pale silver skin was cracked with frostbite, faint bioluminescent veins tracing down her neck. Her chest rose barely, but her impossible violet eyes fluttered open. "Human," she rasped, her voice trembling like wind over crystal. "You shouldn't be here." Elias dropped his bag and knelt. "You're alive, that's enough." He scanned her. Hypothermia, blood loss, multiple fractures. Catastrophic readings. No normal creature could survive this long. "I am not normal," she whispered, reading his thoughts. "I am Queen Mother Serera, last of my line." The words struck him like lightning. The Queen Mother, blamed for orbital strikes that nearly destroyed Earth's colonies, now lay dying before him. He hesitated, gloved hand hovering over her. Training screamed, "Do no harm." Memories screamed another message. Then she coughed, blue blood staining her lips. "My children," she murmured. "They betrayed me, left me to die." Elias's jaw tightened. "Then let's not give them what they want." He opened his med pack, drawing a thermopack and injector. The serum hissed as it entered her veins. Her body convulsed, then steadied, faint light beneath her skin flaring briefly. "You shouldn't save me," she said faintly, voice steadying. "My people will kill you for touching me. Yours will hunt you for helping me." "I take orders from no one now," he replied, sealing her wounds with biofoam. Hours passed as the storm raged. He set up a thermal field, melting frost around them. Her strength returned, though her eyes never left his. Suspicion lingered, and something more. "Why care for the enemy?" she asked quietly. "Dying alone in the cold," Elias said, "feels the same for all, human or Varellan." She studied him. "You are different from the soldiers I knew." When the winds finally waned, Elias rigged a sled from wreckage and pulled her toward the cliffs. The frozen wasteland stretched endlessly beneath a ghostly blue sun, offering no warmth. Words were scarce. Each breath, each step, was a battle. Silence grew heavy, a fragile understanding forged in survival. By nightfall, they reached the canyon's edge. Below, faint lights glimmered, an old Terran outpost. "We can make it before the next storm," Elias muttered. But Serera collapsed into the snow. He caught her, heart racing. Her pulse was fading. "Don't you dare," he growled, shaking her shoulders. "Don't give up now." Her lips curved faintly. "You remind me of my healer long ago." He lifted her onto the sled, dragging her the last mile through the wind's fury. Inside the outpost, systems sputtered alive. Heat flooded the room. He laid her on a cot, linking her to remaining power cells. Hours passed. At dawn, the storm ended. Light bathed the frozen plains in pink and gold. Elias turned and froze. Serera stood at the window, cloaked again, her bioluminescent veins glowing with renewed vigor. Her eyes met his. "You saved the one your world calls monster," she said softly. "In your heart, there is no war, only mercy." He nodded, speechless. She stepped closer, hand pressing to his chest. "For that, healer, you have my debt." Outside, engines roared, an alien craft descending. Elias tensed. She raised a hand. "Do not fear. You are under my protection." As light filled the outpost, she turned to him. "We will meet again, healer of the enemy." And then she was gone, swallowed by the white horizon. Elias remained alone, her voice lingering like the storm's last whisper, a promise between two souls who should have been foes, yet chose humanity. The engines faded. The wind calmed. Sunlight touched his face, fragile and golden over a dead world. Breath misting, he stared at where the craft had vanished. Silence felt sacred. The medic felt hollow, not from loss, but something harder, a strange ache of connection. He had saved her life, and she had saved something in him too. He turned to the outpost. The cot still glowed faintly, a residue of her bioluminescent blood, frozen stars in the fabric. On the console, a small metal sigil, Varella's royal crest. When he touched it, it pulsed warm. A message flickered. For the healer, who defied both empires. "When the stars burn again, I will return." Elias sank into a chair, laughing shakily. The war that had destroyed two civilizations had birthed something rarer, trust. He didn't know if she would return for gratitude, or something deeper, but he hoped she would. Days passed. He repaired his transmitter, sending a coded message, not for rescue, but for her. Patient stabilized, awaiting follow-up. Finally, he stepped outside, sunlight breaking over ice, and smiled, for the first time in years.